Hello everyone, my name is Stuart and I'm going to do Crash 2 100%. With me I have Rico and Hypno, if you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Yeah, so both of us have been running this game for quite a while, so we should be a steady hand, but for the most part Stuart's going to be absolutely gaming right here, so
yeah,
without further ado.
This man is a legend at this game.
Sure is.
Thank you, man. Right, I'm ready to go.
All right.
3, 2, 1, go.
Let's get it.
Alright, so the first couple levels in this are actually very hard, so I'm going to let my couch explain a bit about the movement tech and the basics, things like that, while I carry on.
Yeah, so immediately going into this level, you're going to see Stu doing something called neutral slide spin.
And we're off. We are off. There it is.
That's
yeah,
better,
so that's neutral slide spin. Basically, in this game, if you do a slide and then just go neutral on all directional input and then do a spin, the spin will carry the slide momentum, which is not normal, and that's just going to be the name of the game for most of the movement throughout this run. There is also going to be something coming up really quick for a trick called glitch high jump, where if you do a spin at the same time as you do a crouching or sliding jump, you get more height, which we will use to get this red gem right here. That is obviously not the intended way to get the red gem. Normally you are supposed to get a secret entrance to this level and take an alternate path to get it, but that just bypasses it entirely.
As you can see, neutral slide spinning just absolutely tearing through this bonus. This is a glitch low. We talked about glitch highing, but glitch lowing to get that Acu mask right there. Basically, you just delay the spin slightly. And by doing so, instead of glitch highing, you glitch low, which can be nice for freedom of movement. Right here, exclamation mark box off screen. Go back, get the 2 boxes that created, and finish the level. That's the gem. We're going to be getting all of those in this run. So combined with the red gem that we got in that level.
Yeah, so the 100% requirements for Crash 2 are 25 crystals, which is just the normal collectible in every level. You need them to just progress the game in general. There are gems. Every level has a gem for getting every box, and then most levels also have an alternate gem for just doing a secret path or having an extra secret within them. And then there is also 5 secret exits that we need to find, and that will make 100%. But you will notice that in this level, Turtle Woods, Stu is not breaking any crates. That is the secret for the blue gem. It's just getting to the end of the level without breaking anything.
Yeah, this is a rare instance because this will not come back up throughout the rest of the game. The importance of 0 boxes at the end of a level will be noticed, however. An exact box count is needed for the gem, and that may seem obvious, but in levels, in future warp rooms, that will be very, very important to detail, which we'll talk about in about 40 minutes or so.
Yep.
But yeah, you may have noticed he missed the crystal there, which you may be wondering why is that. That's because we're going to get the blue gem on purposely die, because it's quicker than finishing the level and then having to re-enter from the start.
Yeah, the devs were very generous and made it so that even after you die, you keep any crystal or gem you collected, and that will be very strategically used throughout the whole run to just save time over just, doing an entire section of a level again. And here's another secret area in this level, is you just body slam on that face that was on the floor, and it takes you to this entire extra path.
This is the first instance of bird enemies, but this enemy actually will probably never come back up again. This one will. You'll see in level 4. Those birds will be very, very interesting. There's some strats involved with them, which you'll see, but yeah, just blowing through that secret path.
The first warp room in this game is a pretty notorious offender for being massively reset heavy on attempts, and Turtle Woods is a big case of that. This level is very treacherous with very awkward geometry, and just having to dodge every crate on the first pass makes this a very brutal level on top of Snowgo, which itself was a very brutal level.
Yeah, there's a reason that Stuart is being quiet right now, and that's because this level takes quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm past the stressful part, so I'm feeling much better.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, there you go.
The blue gem pass of Turtle Woods is always a nail-biter in any type of resetless or marathon run.
Worth mentioning, we haven't even covered this. You're glitch highing out of these holes, which is not intended. You're supposed to kill a bunch of enemies in there, and then a mushroom will appear that you can bounce off to get out of the holes, but with Crash's movement options, it's barely even worth mentioning. You just fly through them.
Yeah, the glitch high is particularly powerful on the version of the game that Stu is running, which is the PAL version. On this version of the game, not only is Crash's jump height higher, but he also moves faster, which was something that the devs did as compensation for PAL having a lower frame rate, but they did a bit too good of a job, so this version of the game just blows NTSC out of the water. But this is the first case of a chase level, and this is probably the biggest example of just how powerful neutral slide spin is. That boulder is supposed to be going about as fast as Crash is, and we're just completely leaving it behind.
Yeah, absolutely coasting through this. You can actually see in about 20 seconds or so, excuse me, that the bonus level in here can be quite treacherous due to, well, I guess you'll find out here.
I'm going to wait here
yeah.
because I have to let this boulder break the nitros for me, because if I go off screen and the boulder hits them, I won't get them.
Yeah. This game will deload anything that's not on screen, and that's how...
If it's not on screen, it doesn't exist,
yeah,
basically.
That's how the game gets away with having pretty short load times.
That's so good. That's so good.
That is a very...
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's like a particularly difficult strat, but it's a very easy
so there's a
one to go
box
wrong.
here that this boulder gets for you, but sometimes it can just jump over it if it wants to. Okay, it works.
You got it,
okay. Yeah.
It's completely random, and it's the worst thing ever, so...
Yeah. Something else to mention that Stu is doing here is just sliding across the wall, which is a wall boost that you can get in the first 2 chase levels and all of the river levels, which one of them we'll be going to next. It'll be a lot more apparent, I feel, in the next chase level.
Yeah, first style of this particular level coming up here, Hang 8. The reason why we've done the level order like this, we've gone level 2, level 1, level 5, and now level 3, and we'll end this warp room on level 4, is because you need the blue gem from Turtle Woods, where we didn't hit any boxes. Because in this level there is a blue gem path, which will be very, very important, as there are some boxes in there, and obviously without all the boxes we're not getting any gems, so...
There's also a timer gem here, which is the timer in the bottom right, so I have to get to the end of the level before the timer runs out. And it's pretty lenient, so I can get some of these boxes before this checkpoint.
Shoutouts to this checkpoint.
This is a scary checkpoint.
There we go.
You have to hit that checkpoint in a very specific way, because if you hit it from the left or the right, the game will soft lock when I death abuse at the end.
Just one of Crash 2's many quirks, yeah.
Do we know why exactly that happens?
The theory is that you spawn in the water, so you just never spawn.
Okay.
Interesting.
Crash 2.
I don't know if it's true, but that's the theory.
It happens because it's Crash Bandicoot 2.
Right, when I respawn here, I'm going to be going for a God Cycle, so the movement I do from here until basically the end, I have to not make a lot of mistakes.
Quite a niche thing worth mentioning is on platforms, you can try and stick to the platform. Some platforms, like this bonus platform here, you struggle to stick to, but others are quite doable. And it can be very, very influential, because if you immediately stick to a platform and the platform automatically knows that you're there, it can save like a second, and whilst that's not much, it can wildly affect cycles. And cycles can, you know, obviously save way more than a second, so they're pretty huge.
Cycles aren't as demanding of a factor in Crash 2 compared to Crash 1 and Crash 3, but
Okay,
they're
so
still...
beating that mine there was the God Cycle.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, they're still pretty significant, and...
Really, really good.
Yeah, so Crash 2, much like the other 2 Crash games on the PS1, runs on what we call global cycles, so as long as the game is not paused or loading, these cycles are moving. So anytime, and they reset anytime you die, so there will be some strategic death abuses, or just taking advantage of a death abuse.
I'm not going to do the hippo slide jump I did there before, because if I die, it will be a very long death.
Yeah, and there's a checkpoint like right there, so...
Yeah, Hang 8 I would say is one of the easier levels in this warp room, but it is very, very bad to die in.
Yeah, for sure. Very punishing deaths here, just because of the blue gem path, really, and the timer gem. Because if you die while the time is running, it's kind of rough. So, very nice getting all
So we got both gems, and we're gone.
Lovely, lovely. All right, one last level in this warp room. Very similar to Turtle Woods, except for we will not be getting any kind of special gem besides the box gem here. It's called the Pits. Those birds that I mentioned earlier about how there are some strats involved with them will be rearing its head here because you can actually spin off of them. Some birds aren't exactly optimal to spin off, but you can get boosts off some of them, and it's very, very nice. Hopefully we'll see a couple. This one isn't one of them.
Yeah. You see it here. Spin off the back, I get a little boost forward.
Very nice.
And here.
Lovely.
This is the first level that's going to show a split path, so I'm going to go down the right path first and get these boxes, and then I'm going to go back because the crystal is on the left. And there's also an exclamation mark box that activates some boxes in the right path, so I have to get that first.
Yeah, the middle of the right path is also just a whole lot of nothing, so you can just backtrack through it when the paths converge, and that's just faster than going down the entirety of both sides.
I really, really hope that exclamation mark box hit. I didn't hear it.
It should be fine.
It should be
Right,
fine.
yeah.
Another thing of note with the routing that Hypno mentioned is along with like making sure you have the right color gem before entering a level, one of the biggest defining things of the routing in this game is masks. So every mask you get is an extra hit point. So Stu has 2 masks right now, so you can take 2 hits without dying. If you get 3 masks, you become temporarily invincible, and that sounds really good. But in Crash 2, if you become invincible, your slide becomes incredibly slow, and that makes it so that neutral slide spin is basically useless. So for 99% of this run, we will be actively avoiding getting triple mask. So the routing oftentimes takes advantage of the fact that in some levels, either like, for example, the chase level takes your masks away from you, or in Hang 8, we death abused at some point, and that obviously you respawn with 0 masks, and it's all just strategically done to make sure that you are never under threat of getting triple mask when you don't want it.
Yeah, exactly. And if you do get 3 masks, then believe it or not, the fastest way of movement is crawling, which says a lot about how fast you go with triple masks.
It looks hilarious,
Yeah.
but we will probably not see it.
Yeah.
Right, so we're going to the first boss now, and this is basically entirely an auto-scroller, so if you've got any donations, this is a great time for it.
It's a perfect timing indeed. We've got a few donations come in. I will just clear up something from the end of the last game, if that's all right with you. We had a $125 donation come in from TTS for Life, who says he's keeping his word for the Cynthia boss fight incentive. Thanks for having me, and let's beat Alzheimer's together. So TTS for Life making up the remainder of that incentive there. We also have a $10 donation from Dill Wingo, who says, "Hey Stu, I'm really proud of you for getting to finally show off Crash 2. You deserve it."
Yeah,
also, very privileged to have finally gotten the chance to meet one of my inspirations when I ran Crash 2 many years ago.
I love you, Wingo.
Thanks for being such a nice friend, and remember, yep, sure, dropped inputs. We have a $5 donation from Freeze Champ, who says, "Yo, good luck on the run. Look at how far you went these past years, from being a newbie, just learning his first steps into speedrunning, and now you're at the top of the world. I'm so proud of you, Hypnoshark." Oh, yeah, I hope Crash 2 goes well for you too, Stuart, I guess.
Well, thanks, man. Thank you.
And a final $100 donation from Jamie the Benui, who says, "Shoes." Thank you, everybody, for your donations.
There's no way that was Freeze Champ, by the way. I know exactly who that was. I know precisely who that was.
I think I have an idea too.
Yeah, we sure do.
Yeah, so that boss was basically just stand. It's a set pattern every time. You just stand in a corner and do nothing. So, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, the biggest challenge in that fight is not being incredibly swaggy and accidentally embedding and soft locking.
Yeah,
or
many
just
runners
dying.
have died in there because they're just trying to jump around and make it less boring, and then they die. But
I was telling a story earlier how in a category where you do that fight with 0 lives, I was messing around and managed to hit a nitro and die, and I was really glad it was offline.
Yeah, you don't want that saved forever.
Alright, so this is the first bear level, and you can either charge or jump, and the best way to move is to just charge jump. You can't, if you charge on the ground without a jump, you can't really charge and get in for a few seconds, so it's better to just jump. It saves 0.3 seconds per charge jump, and on this version of the game, there's some boxes at the end that are extremely hard to get because they forgot to adjust for the 25 FPS instead of 30. So hopefully we don't miss those, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll be zigzagging from left to right and then left again. And obviously on the NTSC version, it's gives you way more time to do so, but Despair is very fast, and so...
These 3 boxes here are tough, so let's see.
Here we go. Nice.
Nice.
It's a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is one of the biggest roadblocks for people of any level in this game. Warp 1 is generally considered like the big gatekeeper of getting a run going, and this level is considered honorary Warp 1 because it's just that brutal with that ending box sequence.
Yeah, like people spend like hours in Warp 1 and then they finally get out and then they miss the boxes and go back. It's really bad.
It's brutal. Alright.
So this level is basically just the same as Crash with the boulder chase, and there's going to be some electric fences in this level, and you can slide spin like straight through them and they won't care, but there are a couple that for some reason they do care. So if you try and spin, they'll kill you. But I don't really know why, but you'll see. Like this one doesn't care. I can just chain my side spin wherever, but there's one, and you'll see in a minute. I'm going to backtrack here because there are boxes, and then there will be a platform to take me straight back.
Yeah, this level can be sneaky hard. It's not the type of level that you think that you can...
So
really
this electric fence here, I have to time it because for some reason it works different. And here it doesn't matter how fast I go because there are nitros ahead and I'm going to have to stand and wait, just like in Crash Dash. I just have a little party here. And again, as soon as that boulder starts moving, it doesn't matter what I do because there are more nitros, so I just wait.
There you go.
I'm going to stand here, and then I can go through that. I can go through the side of that fence for some reason and wall boost.
Yeah, that's the last instance of waiting on nitros for the rest of the run, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Yep. Nice little bonus here. Very nice.
Okay, I'm going to hold down on the D-pad on this platform as I leave because for some reason, if you don't do that, the walls here on this section deload. So when I wall boost like this, I would go through it and die.
Very well made game. Really nice slide over the hole. Yeah, if holes are thin enough, you can slide over them. You may have picked up on that. If not, then there you go. But that won't be the last time you see that. Very nice.
Very good.
Yeah, he slowed down a bit there to grab that gem because the ice propels you so fast through a slide that you would just go right through it.
And also that gem, most gems are just sitting there, like as soon as you go in the tunnel, but that one like falls down from above when you go towards it. So if I didn't wait, then I would slide spin straight past it.
Alright, deal, excuse me. Rico, do you want to talk about the secret paths as you mentioned them earlier?
Yeah, there's going to be one coming up, and it's a bit conspicuous. They very cleverly and subtly hint towards every secret in this game. So the hint here is, why would there be this room full of nitros with a dead end? Yeah, and just walk through it.
That is intended.
Yeah.
There is a colored gem at the end of this section here.
Yeah. So Stu intentionally took a hit there because he's going to grab the green gem and just immediately death abuse. That's way faster than trying to walk back out of this, because that actually is a dead end.
And once again, with the respawn, I'm going to be going for a God Cycle, so the entire level I have to play well.
Also right here, you're going to see he's going out of his way to grab that crate. If you've played any of the later Crash games, that might be weird because you think, wouldn't the Nitro Detonator get them? On the PS1, for any off-screen Nitro, the detonator doesn't actually destroy them, it just deletes them. So any crate that is next to them that's not a Nitro does not get broken.
Yeah, a bit like the situation that we talked about earlier, where if something is off-screen, it basically just doesn't exist. In the same way, the nitros don't actually act like nitros, they just vanish.
Yeah.
First instance of hangrails here. You'll see these again in the run coming up.
Hopefully not all of them.
Yeah, wow.
Okay. I lost the God Cycle, but that's okay.
That's fine.
That was also an instance of another thing that makes the PAL version better than NTSC for the run, which is the PAL Body Slam. As you can see, the Body Slam on this version can break a row of like 4 crates. On the NTSC version, if you're lucky, it'll hit 3.
So here I'm going to drop off the hangrails and take damage and go along the ground. Saves it like 3 or 4 seconds.
Yeah, you don't really need these masks because, as we previously mentioned, getting invincibility by getting 3 masks is pretty slow. So we may as well use the masks any way we can to save time, and that's a nice example.
Alright, so this next level is pretty hard, and if it goes as I would like it to, it's going to look very cool. So I'm going to shut up and let these guys talk.
Yeah, so this is a red gem path. Again, we got the red gem earlier from Snowgo, the first level of this run, with the glitch high jump body slam that we showed off earlier. So again, very, very useful for that exists, because now we can go into Snowbiz and complete the entire level and not have to like revisit it at any point.
Yeah, if you hadn't gotten the red gem early, like Stu did, you would have to visit this level after visiting the secret entrance to Snowgo, which is only unlocked by beating level 7, which we haven't entered yet, so you would have to have beaten Air Crash before this. But since we have the red gem, we can just go to this path. And honestly, this is, like, both speedrun-wise and casually, this has got to be one of the coolest sections in the entire game.
Also, probably one of the hardest.
Oh yeah, it's very challenging.
This is a nice spin here. Very nice.
Yeah, so we haven't really touched on it, but TNTs in this game have expanding hitboxes, so if you hit them at the right angle, you can get out of their range before they hit you. And that is really cool looking and very useful for just very quickly dealing with them.
It's gone very well so far.
Yeah, I was going to say. 3D range that. Very nice. Yeah, last section coming up here. We want to get to the checkpoint though, because even though the path will be over, you'll notice that there's no checkpoint at the end of this path to be like, oh yeah.
It's about as good as you can do it.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, there's one more jump here, and if I die here, I'll go back to a checkpoint that was pretty far away, so let's not die here.
And well done.
Can do some cool bounces here. I'm going to spin off this and slide. If you spin just before you touch a box, you're able to slide, and you can do some cool things like that.
Another bonus coming up. 91 boxes is the correct amount.
And it's good that I kept the mask from that section before, because I'm going to use it in here to damage abuse and skip doing a bunch of slides back and forth that would be slow.
Yeah, this section casually without a mask can be quite tough to figure out, but as you can see, it's not really much of a problem when you have a mask.
Right, I hope I get this part. There's gonna be some really cool movement here when I drop down.
It's one of my favorite parts of the game optimally. Oh, basically, you can slide off of that scenery that he got up on top of and break the box. It's incredibly cool looking, but regardless, that's a great Snowbiz.
Very good, yeah, very good.
Alrighty.
Right. So this next level is the only level in the game that we have to visit twice, because there's a secret entrance later on in the game where it takes you to the secret section of this level, and there are boxes in it, and there's no way to get to it apart from that, so we will be here twice.
Yeah, this level has a secret entrance, a secret exit, and a death route, and this is the first instance of a death route, which is basically you have to reach it without dying at all in the level in order for it to be unlocked. So yeah, this level is just filled with secrets.
Worth mentioning, by the way, even though we're not gonna... Oh, sorry, we are gonna death abuse at the end of this.
Yes, we are, in a very cool way.
Yeah, very cool way. We can hit that checkpoint from any way we want. It's not like Hang 8 where it will crash the game, which is very nice. Yeah, very nice.
You'll notice I skipped the checkpoint there. You'll understand why in a minute.
Yeah.
He likes to live life on the edge.
Yeah, that's the real reason. Just playing life risky. This is fun when it goes well. See if it goes well. Those platforms...
Very hard jump there.
Yeah, so that's actually another movement type we really haven't talked about, which is zigzagging. So in all of the PS1 Crash games, it is faster to alternate diagonals than it is to just hold straight forward in a direction. And it
death abuse.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
Just
awesome.
jump into the scenery and fall through the water.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that strat is literally called Swagmaster 420.
It is, yes.
Yep.
And this is why I skipped the checkpoint, because the secret exit is right here.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, zigzagging is a movement tech that is very subtly used across the entire run. It's actually used in the middle of neutral slide spins. Like, the optimal movement is sliding during your zigzag, because it also works for slides, and then letting go of the input and doing a neutral slide spin. This game is very technically demanding at the highest level.
Yeah, so that level there was the way you're supposed to get the red gem in this level, but since we already have it, we can just leave and go to the next boss.
Yeah, we still had to unlock it, though, because unlocking each secret exit is 1%.
This boss is pretty simple as well. It's just you hit Komodo Joe into his Komodo Mo, and It's not. It's pretty much an auto-scroller again, so you can have some more donations here.
Well, thank you very much. I do have it on good authority that the previous donation was actually from Freeze Champ.
Okay.
Sure.
Sure. I do have good authority on that. We have a $5 donation in from Kiri198 who says, hi, don't forget to jump on Polar to get 100%. We have a $20 donation from Lexi who just says, good luck, man.
Thank you, Lexi.
We have a $15 donation from Mastois who says, had to donate for a Crash 2, a game where one of the best platformer gamers of all time could still die to the first TNT in Snow Go. Shout outs to Hypno and Rico on the amazing commentary, and of course Stuart for responding in the chat.
Thank you, Mastois.
A $10 donation from Merkaz who says, yo, Stuart, this run can still PB. You're crushing it, and we're all right behind you, cheering you on. Amazing to watch you crush this in person finally. A $15 donation from Shemp who says, but Uka, I can't eliminate that Bandicoot if he keeps slide spitting over my pits and deloading our crates. And finally, a $20 donation from Silver106 who simply says, yo, Stuart!
Thank you, Silver. For some reason, everyone like says that to me. They say, yo, Stuart. I don't know why.
Alrighty.
So this level, again, will have a timer gem, just like we saw in Hang 8. But this time it's for a colored gem, the yellow gem. And this one is even more lenient with the timer, so not only are we going to get some boxes along the way, we're actually going to do the entire bonus as well.
Yeah, so you can actually def abuse in this bonus if you're like starting out with the game, because for some reason def abusing in the bonus extends the time limit back to where it was originally. That's awesome. That's a great slide spin there.
Yeah, that's a hard strat.
Yeah, it's important to note that even though the timer has disappeared from the screen, it is still ticking. And like Hypno said, if you die in this bonus while the timer's going, it just resets. So that's a very
I skipped the
beginner-friendly
TNT
strat.
before, and I'm going to try and snipe this plant into it like that.
You saw the
Very
box
nice.
count go up there. Yeah, lovely. 25 is the right box count there.
Yeah, as they say, the timer is still going, it just disappears if you go in the bonus for some reason.
Yeah, I think as long as you enter the bonus with like 45 or more seconds, you're perfectly safe to finish this.
Yeah, this is more than fine. I'm not worried at all.
Yeah. There are boxes in this section, but we will be coming back for them because 2 gems cannot appear at once. So we need the yellow gem, and now that we have that, we will definitely use. You would think that just hitting the nitro detonator after the yellow gem would work. It doesn't work. You need to die first, and now it will work.
Yeah, it is possible to get all the boxes and be in time for the yellow gem, but they can't spawn both gems, so you just have to do it this way. It's the only way.
Alright, next level should be a fun one.
We haven't spoken about the cycles. The cycles are global, so when I respawned in this level, I am trying to make a cycle in the next level. There's a fire, like flame, at the start of this next level. The moment I respawned and plant food there, I'm trying to catch this fire and like get in front of it.
Yeah, this is probably the hardest level in the game so far, arguably.
Yeah, I want to say Road to Ruin is one of the most notorious difficulty spikes in the run. Like, this is where it just becomes very difficult.
This section here is actually a secret part of the game, and you're not supposed to get here on the first pass, but I used the scenery to skip into it. You're supposed to spawn next to these boxes when you enter through the secret entrance, but we don't want to do that. We want to just skip it.
Very nice, very nice.
And that is just the tip of the iceberg with this level. There are
Yeah.
2 more crazy jumps that you have to do.
Worth mentioning, this is something you never want to see, but there is something in this game called embedding.
Oh.
Ooh. That's all good. The checkpoint's right there.
That
That's
is
fine.
better than embedding.
Yeah, my god. So, basically, if you clip in between a wall and a floor in this game, you go in between it, and the only way to get out is to re-enter the level. So,
Alright, very tough trick coming up. There's a secret gem there, and you can basically just skip it with these jumps.
that's
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah, that jump is a lot harder than it looks. It takes a really good extension of your slide and some zigzag to get it.
Yeah, you're supposed to go in the death route and then go through the path, and I actually lost the death route because I died, so...
The death road is very long and has nothing in it except for that gem at the very end. So that
it's
is
a good thing I don't need the platform because I did lose it. So.
Yeah.
It's a fun bonus when it goes right. You're supposed to hit that exclamation mark box and spawn all those boxes. But
Yeah, it's
why
like
do
a
that?
puzzle. There's like you're supposed to hit one, go back, hit another one, go back, hit another one, and like back and forth. But we don't want to do that. So
Yeah, it's basically a Crash 4 bonus before Crash 4.
But But yeah, you can see all the boxes that we were supposed to hit. They're not like boxes that count towards the box count. They're like the metal boxes that you can't break. So we're still going to get the gem here. Boxes in this level add up to 89.
Yeah.
And that is 89.
Outside of that one really minor death, that was an extremely clean road to ruin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
I did all the hard things, but I died in like the easiest spot.
That's Crash 2.
This level is not so much movement based, but there's a bunch of like tricks that you have to do, so it makes it very hard to be consistent. But let's see what happens here.
It's also nice that you have one mask entering this level.
Yeah.
I would have preferred two, to be honest, but one will do.
Masks are super significant in this level because of an enemy that's coming up right here.
Yeah, these like flamethrower guys, the hitbox on their flamethrower is insanely big, so it's you can skip a few of them, and hopefully we will, but it's very difficult.
They have a very interesting name in the game's code. We will not say what it is.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Just know it's very interesting.
I'm gonna damage abuse while I get this gem, and then death abuse.
Worth mentioning also, when you respawn here, the mask that was on top of that checkpoint drops onto you because we hit the checkpoint on purpose before breaking the mask box, which is really nice because now, after this bonus, ideally, if we don't get hit, we'll have two masks because there's a box, there's a mask box coming out of this bonus immediately that you'll see once we're done here.
Yeah, luckily I skipped that flamethrower guy and get my mask so I can do this. Otherwise I would have had to bounce on those boxes one by one, which is really slow.
It's also very scary because nitros have a tendency to just bounce really high sometimes.
Okay, the next trick here is 3-blade, basically trying to jump through these 3 blades with no damage like that. And then the next one is 2-blade, where we break one and jump through. Oh, unlucky.
Still fine.
And then we're going to try and do a couple more skips on some flamethrower guys. There's one here on the left. We'll try and slide under him. Yep.
Nice.
I'm going to get the crystal and these boxes.
These two masks are going to be really, really important. You don't necessarily need... Well, yeah, you...
Oh, I killed him.
Oh,
I sniped him.
Okay, so you would have needed to, but
this one.
actually you can skip this one and then you actually only... Yeah.
And then I will damage on this one. And I have a mask left over. That's very rare.
Yeah, that's incredibly
yeah.
rare. We'll take it. Why not?
Unfortunately, it's about to go away because of the next level.
Yeah, not that it's going to matter, huh? Yeah.
This is the third and final chase level, except this time it won't be a boulder, it's going to be a giant bear. Which is why the level's called Unbearable.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, great joke.
Yeah, it's really good.
And you're not going to see him very much because I'm going to go very fast, hopefully.
So this section here helps to have it memorized. Stuart does have it memorized. Those nitros back there, you would think, oh, you off-screened them so they didn't break, and you'd be right, but luckily there is a nitro detonator in this level, unlike the chase levels earlier with the boulders. So it's absolutely fine that we off-screen those nitros because there is a nitro detonator anyway. Another secret path here, Rico. You're the secret path guy this run.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I'm going to death abuse here, and this will open up the bridge behind me. And the clue is that there's a few planks left over, so you're like, why would they do that? So you go down there, and then there's a secret.
Yeah. Normally, the bear breaks that.
Yeah, but the bear takes way too long.
Yeah.
So. Okay.
Ooh.
Try that again. Yeah.
There you go.
That is another example of the PAL body slam being very wide compared to NTSC.
Yeah, literally wider than one metal crate width. Like, that's crazy.
The 3D slide here.
Oh,
Failed it.
it's unlucky.
Because this game is still a 3D platformer, there's a lot of cool manipulation of that you can do in 2D sections.
And that's a very good secret area.
Yeah, that was very solid.
Alrighty.
I'm going to head to the bonus now. You're supposed to go all the way to the right in this bonus and then all the way back left, but we can just high jump here, skip all that. And then we're going to damage abuse on these nitros because when we come out of here and we go back to the bear chase, it would have taken the mask away from me anyway, so might as well use it. And then at the end section, you're going to see the mini polar bear that we've been using in the bear level, and it's going to be big bear versus small bear.
And weirdly, small bear will win. Here you go.
It's a cool little section. You're on the bear and you're running from the big bear.
TNT's up here will break. 58 is the correct box count, and that's what we have. However, when we get to the end of this level, we will not be leaving immediately, for there is a secret exit
Yes.
back where that polar bear is going to fall down.
Yeah, the hint for this one is that in the other 2 chase levels, the boulder blocks the entrance, so you can't leave, but you can here, and also that jump is oddly doable, so they want you to explore by going backwards.
Yeah, and then when you do explore, you see Polar, and you're like, oh, let me go say hi, and then it takes you here.
Yep. And this is the first secret exit that actually gives us a brand new level. It's the first of 2, so this is level 26. It does not have a crystal in it, but it does have a gem.
Yeah, the next 2 levels are going to be 2 bears in a row, and there's not much going on, so this is another good chance for some donations. If you have any.
If you have any donations, that is. All good, all good.
No?
Okay.
I've pulled it.
All good, all good. So.
Sorry, we had a tech issue over here on the hosting desk.
No worries at all.
We do have some donations, yes, absolutely. We have a $5 donation from Sustain who says, Scotland! So, when Twins 100% again?
True.
And
True.
Another $5 donation from Kieran SR who says, yo, what's good in the hood? Stuart, buddy, hope the run goes well. Hopefully better than our Valorant lobbies, am I right? Haha, anyway, the Freeze Champ joke was actually his. Thank you, Kieran. We also have a $10 donation from Dayoman92 who says, Rico and Hypno shaped me into the Crash Bandicoot speedrunner I am today. Thank you for being such an inspiration, and I'll see you 2 tomorrow. Which sounds a bit like a threat.
Thank you, guys.
Legendary Crash Bandicoot speedrunner Dale, man.
Yeah, he's known for
Just for the record, Kieran saying something is true doesn't mean it's true.
Yeah, it really
Really
doesn't mean
not.
it's true. And he'll appreciate me saying that, to be honest.
Also, shout outs to Sustain, who ran Crash Twin Sanity a few days ago on Stream 1.
Yes.
And yeah, I agree with him. When's Twins Hundo?
Yeah, true.
With the new route. That's,
Yeah, the game has changed a lot in the last few days, so
Yeah.
I have to go back.
Yeah, shout out.
G Pro keeps finding things while I'm at ESA, and I'm just like, thanks, man.
Alrighty. Next level, Bear Down. Again, this is relatively similar to Totally Bear, except for the fact that it's actually slower for the first section. You'll notice a change in speed about halfway through. A bit weird, but it does that, but I guess it makes the level a little bit more interesting. Oh!
I was trying to charge into that there, and I didn't get one, so I just jumped over it. That's really bad.
That's unlucky.
It's okay.
It's all good. To be,
Part of it is that the crate layout in this level is just so inconvenient. Like, you just can't really blaze through this first half of the level.
yeah, I mean, to be fair, that's probably the first big death of the run.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, the only other like minor one, like the only other ones were like the TNT at the very beginning and the small one in Road to Ruin. Those are both very minor, so that's
Yeah.
the first significant
Charge this
death.
thing? Thank you.
Yeah.
There
we
it
go.
is. But yeah, I mean, at the halfway point-ish in this run, and yeah, going very, very well so far.
Yeah, but again, there's not too much going on in this level, so if there's any time for messages, this would be a good point.
Yeah, again.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to mention to everybody, remember, the donations are coming in amazingly. Don't forget to assign them to bids that are happening. We've got both sets of both of the next games, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. We have the Armor Bid War, and Dragon Age Inquisition. We have the Inquisitor name choice. It's on the right-hand side of the donation screen. Don't forget to assign them so that we can get those incentives met.
Just in time for the end of the level here. Again, just like Unbearable, we're going to be getting the gem, but we are not going to be leaving. You may have noticed those platforms on the water there that we just flew over.
This is the most obvious secret in
Yeah.
the game. It's
Yeah.
probably the first one people find.
Yeah, it's probably intended to be the one that tips you off that there are secrets in this game.
Yeah.
And this is the second visit to Air Crash, where we can finally get the box gem that we couldn't get on the first pass.
Yeah, the reason being, obviously, there's boxes, not only boxes in this level, or in this secret exit rather, but there's also a nitro detonator, so you couldn't detonate any of the nitros in the first visit to Air Crash. So, you're gonna have to do it now. There are 46 boxes up for grabs in total, 13, and then obviously the nitro detonator, which you'll see here.
Try and squeeze through those nitros there.
Nice.
The small time save, but it's worth it.
Hit the checkpoint up here, and we will never have to revisit that secret exit again. Very good.
Nice.
I'm gonna hopefully do some pretty cool movement here on waterboard.
Let's see if we can do it. Hopefully get all these boxes. You can actually, this fence coming up here, I don't know if this is super common. Stuart may be able to elaborate, but yeah, you already know what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Huh? You can actually get stuck in that fence if you don't boost over it.
Have you ever had the thing where you get like go on the ramp and then wrong warp backwards?
No.
I think like one time.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's-
I don't know what causes that one.
Yeah.
There's one of those 3 fences there, like the one on the right at the very end. I went through it, boosting twice.
Nice.
Crash 2. What a game. Make the cycle there very good. Those platforms do go down. That was nice to
I
make.
actually wasn't paying attention to the cycle there, so I'm lucky. I'm lucky it was there.
So neat little trick there. You can use the mine to damage abuse, and it launches Crash onto that platform, which saves some backtracking.
Yeah, you're supposed to walk to get those boxes, but again, we don't want to do that.
Yeah, you're supposed to like jump, get the boxes, and then jump all the way back, then get the jet ski. It's very, very slow, but
Funnily enough, they patched that out of the Insane Trilogy version of this game, and then somehow managed to patch it into Plant Food.
yeah, I mean, listen, Insane Trilogy is definitely a video game.
And now we have the 3rd boss, which is Tiny Tiger. It's basically, there's going to be 9 platforms, and every time I jump to one, he's going to follow me, and I'm going to try and bait him into falling on, or jumping onto a platform that will fall, so that he will take damage.
A lot of RNG in this one. Platforms are kind of random, especially the last phase when there's only one of the platforms that will be falling. And if it's one of the platforms in the corner, it's very, very hard to bait him into it. Like in bottom right, bottom left, and top right. This is nice.
Right, so the final phase is reactionary. I'm going to stand here, and it's either going to be the top left, the top right, or the middle, or the one I'm standing on. I just have to see what happens.
Nice.
That's like the worst one you can get.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It doesn't lose time, but it's like the hardest one to deal
Sure.
with. Because if it's left or right, I can just slide there. But
Well,
when it's the middle, I have to cross and then like jump to the middle and to the other side quickly. Because if I don't do it quickly, he won't jump into the hole. He'll jump somewhere else.
Yeah. Tiny is really clever and will cut corners if you are not careful.
Now we're into the worst warp room in the game.
Yeah, this is, I want to say, quite handily the hardest warp room in the run.
All the levels are really long and really hard.
Ruination here.
This is basically Road to Ruin's evil cousin, because there's a lot of formations that look similar to Road to Ruin, and then it's just like surprises to Nitro.
Not only that, but you're going to want to leave this level with 2 masks because of the next level. So there's like added stress on playing this well and not taking any damage as well as not dying.
You might wonder why Stu skips that exclamation crate in all of those boxes. They are all Nitros, so going into the whole, this is Road to Ruin's evil cousin.
This is one of the hardest sections in the entire game, in my opinion.
Yeah, even with abusing the scenery like Stu. Oh,
Pad.
yeah.
Oh, no. It's all good, it's all good.
It's okay.
Yeah. The reason why you want to do this section so fast here is because you can beat this flame cycle there, and Stuart does that
Yeah,
with relative ease.
yeah, the death abuse he did at the start was also to make sure he knew exactly what the cycles were looking like.
Yeah, that's definitely worth mentioning.
Okay, that's better.
There you go.
There we go.
This mask here is,
apparently-
well,
yeah, no.
I mean, it's useless regardless.
Yeah, we don't need it.
Because here you will grab the gem and death abuse. Get back on the main path.
We don't need masks.
Yeah, no. Except for when we do.
Yeah, except for later on in this level.
Yeah.
Now we're in the longest bonus in the game, and it's got some pretty hard jumps at the end, so let's hope we can get those.
Yeah, wouldn't hate this going right. I actually want to spin like that some of the Wumper away there, because the more stuff that's in the game's memory, sometimes the boxes at the end of this bonus won't load because there's so many.
Alright, hard boxes.
Nice, nice, nice. That's...
Oh.
Oh,
Spin timer.
Yeah,
that's still very nice.
Yeah,
you can do that very quickly, but
Yeah.
you got the idea.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was unfortunate. You could actually hear the spin noise come out, but Crash didn't do anything.
Yeah, the spin timer is a mechanic in this game that stops you from just spamming spin. So there's like about a second after you spin where you can't do it again. And if you try, you just hear this weird groaning noise.
This is one of the 2 masks that I talked about, but we're going to want to keep out of this level.
And be careful, yeah. Make sure I do.
I think we'll let him focus for this one.
These platforms are on a cycle, so Stuart will know where they are.
I do not.
I
because-
do not.
Alright, so...
Was that because of a death earlier?
Yeah.
Okay.
So thankfully there is a backup reroute that can be done if you don't leave this level with 2 masks.
What is happening?
Oh. Yeah, like Rico said, luckily there is a backup route for Hub 4. So it's absolutely fine. There it is. And then there's a checkpoint up here that you're going to want to grab. Very nice. Okay.
Okay, not the best ruination, but that's okay.
Yeah, that'll absolutely do, especially considering the start of this run was so clean. That's absolutely fine. So instead of doing hanging out, which level are we going to do now?
We're going to go to Behaving, and we're not going to come out here with 2 masks, but then we're going to go to Cold Hard Crash and get 2 masks from there, hopefully.
Yeah. Behaving is normally done at the end of this warp room just because there's not much to it, and you can't leave this level with any masks because of how we do it, so we might as well use this mask in Behaving just because we have it, so it's common to just do it after Ruination if you only leave it with 1.
This level has a cool feature where if you break a box at the same time as the bees spawn with a slide or a bounce, then the box will deal damage to you or kill you if you have no mask.
It'll just have a bee in it. Because that's what we love finding in our boxes.
Okay.
So glad we had that second mask, right?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, that strat there where you blow through the nitros and the nitros explosion takes care of all the boxes for you can be quite nice, but yeah, losing 2 masks to it probably wasn't worth it, but...
What a peculiar staircase of nitros.
Yeah, those nitros looked a bit weird.
I'll go back and look.
Yeah, they looked pretty interesting, actually. I wouldn't mind a second look there.
Oh, wow.
Whoa!
Oh, that's pretty crazy. Hey, you should play this entire route.
You know what? No.
Yeah, so that is the hardest part of the entire game, and I think Naughty Dog knew because they put the purple gem at the start of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm really glad you don't have to do that because the section is really just awful.
Yeah. Also, for as much as we just joked about that staircase of nitros, I'm ashamed to say that that is the only secret that I did not find as a kid.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's pretty hard to tell just because, like, the only way of telling besides the fact that they just look weird is that they don't bounce.
Yeah.
So they're platforms because of how they are.
And it's also like, why would the
there be a
be on
staircase?
the side? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way they're not going to...
I honestly feel like it's one of the more obvious secrets. So it's
Yeah.
just funny to me that it's the only one I didn't find on my own.
Right, that little hop there was important because if you're hopping continuously, the bees won't spawn until you stop hopping. So that little hop there gave them enough time to get the nitro detonator, wait for the nitros to despawn, or explode rather, and then...
Normally I would
Still
do
be-
it without the hop and just be fast enough, but I'm not too comfortable with that on
Yeah.
the marathon.
Yeah, it's better to play it safe for sure.
The craziest thing is that I feel like that's like the most tame level in this warp room, and it was still pretty wild.
Yeah, it's pretty hard even though... Yeah, I mean, this warp room is just crazy.
Yeah,
Really
so
is.
if you've ever tried to casually 100% this game, you probably were pulling your hair out at this level. This is Cold Hard Crash.
But we're not going to do it the way you're meant to.
Yeah.
I was supposed to penguin snipe the left side there of 4 boxes, but I completely messed it up, so I'm going to have to get them all myself.
Hopefully you'll see that the second time
Yes.
we're at the start of a level, and you'll see why in a second. We're also going to miss this
Planning on
checkpoint.
doing this level again?
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, it's quite a fun level, right? So,
Yeah. Kind of weird you missed that checkpoint.
Yeah,
Felt like
that-
that was kind of important.
That was a bit weird. Wonder why that was. Definitely has nothing to do with... Oh, you missed those boxes as well.
Dude, you're just dropping the ball. You're missing so many things.
What do you
There was
think?
another checkpoint.
What are you doing, man?
There was a bonus round.
I
And
don't even like this death trap. I'm going to go back.
Oh,
yeah, that's reasonable. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it either. Are you a fan of the bonus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, we should go do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
There's a lot of cool like TNT bounces and stuff. Like that one.
So,
Should probably tell them what we're doing.
Yeah, probably should. So this is Cold Hard Crash Dupe. We are going to be duplicating the boxes that we currently have. We're going to have 72, I believe.
Pay attention to the box counter.
You'll see the box counter from the bonus below the screen when I respawn. So I'm back to the start with 72, and all the boxes I broke the first time are here again. Basically, it saves me doing like a double entry in this level. Like I don't have to, because there are split paths here.
Yeah.
And I would have to like play it twice if I didn't do this.
Yeah. The way the dupe works is that if you die while the bonus box counter is still ticking, it does not know to reset your box counter when you respawn. So doing that, you can essentially duplicate every box before that bonus.
Now that we have that checkpoint, by the way, we are safe.
Yes, I feel much better.
Yeah. Yeah, if
Yeah,
you do the box dupe and then die before hitting a checkpoint, you basically lose all of it. But yeah, the normal way you're supposed to do this level for 100% is that you go down this death route. There's a gem over a hole that you can't grab and, you know, backtrack out of. So you have to get every box here, backtrack out, clear the whole level with the boxes, and then come back here later and get the clear gem. And it's just such a mess that the box dupe just completely trivializes all of it.
Push right here.
It would have been cool if I did it. But
But yeah, we just skipped like the entire like second half of the side-scrolling section in this level with the box dupe.
It's also important to know that I have to get exactly 155 boxes because the counter has to be the exact number. If I was to get that box there and have 156, it would say I have 156 out of 155, and it would be wrong. Therefore, the gem wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to like completely cover the topic of conversation. Back in Turtle Woods, when we got 0 boxes, that's the reason why that's like that.
Also,
Because
I
Turtle
completely
Woods
forgot that I
0.
came here for masks, and I used one as a damage abuse on, which I normally do. So I have no triple.
It's all good. So, yeah.
Unfortunately, this is the one level where the triple mask is actually useful in the run. There's a very long hangrail section in the middle of it that it is faster either to just have the triple and then just bounce across the hot pipes without getting hurt, which is the optimal way. The other like more visually obvious way is that when you're grabbing hangrails with triple, Crash just moves significantly faster. But yeah, unfortunately, we will not be able to see it.
Yeah, there's a mask coming up as soon as I go through that door at the end of this section, and the pipes below me, the next room is very similar to this, and I would have, if I had triple, I would have dropped down on those pipes and just done a bunch of zigzagging because they wouldn't kill me because I'm at triple. But now we have to just do this and go very slowly.
Hopefully, though, we will be able to see some damage abusing at the end of this level if all goes well.
Yes. There's a very cool backtracking strat at the end, so hopefully I can at least do that.
Yeah. But we shall see. Bonus round coming up. This bonus is sneaky difficult, mainly because of the end section, and also the fact that the bouncy arrows just don't really work sometimes. But hopefully we can get it here.
I'm glad you grabbed that crystal immediately because I feel like I'm the only person who does it.
I think it's better to.
Yeah, same. And I just feel like it's awkward to do it on the respawn. Spoilers for the later part of this level.
Cool spin jumping here.
That's awesome.
That is a very
That's
tense
really
section.
That's harder than it looked.
Yeah,
I guess.
especially when you're on like a good pace, that it could just die right there if something goes wrong.
So I don't have 2 masks for the backtrack, so I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah, may as well just take a hit here.
You're supposed to keep 2 masks. There's a secret exit, that's why we're going back. But I'm just gonna death abuse. But normally I would go back without dying, and I would get to this secret with 2 masks, and instead of going on this rail, I would use the 2 masks along the ground on the lava to save a bit of time. But
Yeah, it requires some very good movement and the double mask.
there is a way to do it with 1 mask where you can like jump on some scenery and like, get back up on the hangrail, but it's quite risky. I can normally do it, but in this setting, I'm just not going to.
Yeah, it's very, very reasonable. Okay, so Toady Fly.
We are not going to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, we're unlocking it now, but we're coming back to it later. The death abuse in hanging out does set up cycles for the next level digging it, which just makes that level a lot more consistent because it is a level with a bit of RNG in it and some very important cycles.
It can also depend on your route though, because personally I actually do totally fly first visit, but
Yeah, the only reason that you would do this level first is if there is the trick that we did in Cold Hard, the dupe, there is one in this level, but it is very hard and it's also RNG because there's not a lot of boxes in the bonus, so when you death abuse, it's hard. You have to move very good, and even if you do, sometimes when you die, you get shoes, like a shoes death animation, which takes like a second, and if you get that, then you cannot get the trick.
Yeah. The dupe in this level is generally only done as a last resort.
But yeah, that's why we do this first, because we just, if you're going for that trick, you want to see if your run's going to die or not. Like, but I will not be doing it, so.
worth mentioning this is done the exact same way as the Cold Hard Crash dupe, but way less obvious and way riskier and doesn't save as much time to get it, so.
Also, Stu broke the checkpoint before he entered the bonus. If he were to break it after, as quickly as possible, the box counter would still be ticking when he broke it, and then if he were to die before the next checkpoint, he would be locked out of some of the crates in the bonus because the counter was still going.
Casually did some really cool scenery stuff to skip into the death route there.
Yeah. I mean,
hopefully we do the same on the way out. Okay.
Okay.
That's a very bad death. Not only is it a lot of time, but I also really wanted those masks for later on, but that's okay.
Hopefully history won't repeat itself here.
There we go.
There it is, there it is, there it is. Very nice.
Yeah, but the reason I wanted the mask is because I'm about to do a backtrack. When I get to the end of the section, I'm going to turn left and do a backtrack. And there's these plant enemies. You're going to see them right here in a sec. These plants that shoot bombs, there's a lot of them on this left path, and they're crazy. Like, they have aimbot like, on the left path.
Worth mentioning, we haven't even brought this up, but the red floor, if you just spin, not slide spin, but just spin on it, you will go like under the floor and it makes you more safe, but also, you know, you can't do any of the movement, like neutral slide spinning or anything. So it's very, very slow. But however, for some reason, sliding then spinning won't make you go under the floor, so we can still do the really, really fast movement that you're seeing here.
The intention of that red floor, especially in behaving, is to just keep you safe from these bees and from the bombs that the plants fire at you, but there's no purpose for it in the run, because we can just outpace all of that anyway.
Yet another level here where we will be grabbing the gem and then death abusing because of yet another secret exit. This one probably the least obvious in the entire game.
Yeah, I want to say this one is probably the
it's
most...
kind of obvious when you see it.
Really, you think so?
I feel like it's obvious after you're like aware of it.
Yeah.
Sure.
But it's also one where like I wouldn't personally think of it.
Yeah, basically the hint is that this plant here is just on an island out of the way, so you just go over here and land on it, and that's the secret.
Yeah, I know a lot of people mention that they think the blue gem is the least obvious one because you would only know about the hint if you've already gotten the clear gem.
Yeah.
Because the hint is that when you get to the end of the level, it says X out of 0.
Alright, now totally fly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure is. No secrets in Warp 5, which will be coming up shortly. Alright, totally fly. This level is really, really tough. Basically, you need to catch these like flies here that illuminate the way, and then go fast enough to where you reach the next one before the other one flies away from you. Casually, this is probably one of the harder levels in the game, to be honest, just because you're not doing this movement to easily make it to the next firefly in time.
Yeah, the neutral slide spin makes it very easy to even like double up on fireflies.
Very nice. Bonus is the exact same gimmick, except for it like slowly goes, which is why...
Yeah, the fly here is really slow, so I'm just gonna do it in the dark.
Yeah, it didn't get some sleep last night or something.
Yeah.
It takes its time.
Not getting some sleep last night, it sounds like me.
But there's not a whole lot to memorize in that bonus, so it's fine.
I don't know him though. I came from the US. I'm still jet lagged.
Yeah, that's understandable, to be fair.
Here, this is the most evil firefly in the game.
Oh, gosh.
There's a bunch of body slam crates as soon as you get it, and as soon as you get the last one, the fly goes away. And then the section right in front, there's a bunch of holes, so Yeah, that's pretty evil game design.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know whether their intention was for you to memorize that in the dark, or if they wanted you to like walk forward to get the body sound crates and then backtrack for the Firefly. But one of those is much easier than the other.
Yeah, I think a lot of beginners do that. They would just skip the boxes, or get the boxes and then go back and get the fly. Yeah. So I think we're going to engine now, yeah? I forgot the route. Yes,
yeah.
we are.
Yeah. Yeah, Hub 4 route was a bit weird there just because of masks, but yes.
This boss does have some tech, but I think you should do some donations here because in War 5 there's not going to be much chance.
Oh, thank you so much. We've had a $5 donation come in from Muffin Hop, who says simply adore the Crash speedrunning community, and I think the audience here, we've got a packed house here in Stream 2. I think we're enjoying the run as well, aren't we? Thank you very much for your donations. Keep them coming in. Don't forget, we've got an incentive for the next run coming in where you can pick the armor set, so for Ratchet and Clank, so keep them coming in.
Yeah, so Stu tried to break both of the arms at the same time. Unfortunately, he was one hit off. If you don't break them at the same time, then the other piece regenerates some health. So it takes a bit longer. And then here he's going to do the same thing with his shoulders.
So there's 2 hits left on the left one and 1 on the right one. That's 2 and that's 1.
Yeah, the arms take 10 hit points, the shoulders take 5, and then this last section also takes 5.
Good mash required here to beat this in 1 cycle. Here we go. Awesome.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is an extremely tight cycle to catch.
Alright, so the next level is the hardest level in the entire game, and if I die I will lose about 2 minutes because I have to go like all the way to the end and all the way back for the death route, but I'm going to be going for a God Cycle that is fairly new and it's extremely hard, so I'm going to focus up here.
Yeah, this is the hardest thing in the game that you will see today. Here we go. All these cycles are very, very tight. Sliding off this box here, pretty good.
That's fine, that's fine.
That's absolutely fine. Still going to catch some cycles here. 3D ranging.
That's not fine.
Good save, really good save.
Okay, yeah, it's...
Unlucky, unlucky. It's all good. We're still going to catch a really nice cycle though, just not God Cycle.
I'm still going to do most of it, but
Yeah.
I just would have been like 4 seconds in the future if that didn't happen.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but are we still going to be able to do bonus strata?
Yes.
Okay. One of the coolest looking bonuses in the game. This would be very nice if it works. That's so good. That's so good.
Perfect.
I want to argue that might be the coolest bonus in the entire run.
Yeah, it's
I
just
think so.
awesome.
And this section has some cool stuff too, so let's hope we can get those.
Yeah, so you might have noticed that Stu skipped the death route platform. He's going all the way to the end for a single... Ooh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
Okay, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, he's going all the way for this single crate and then backtracking to the death route. This pathing is actually how they intend you to 100% this level. This is not like a speed optimization. This is just how you're supposed to do it.
The moment we touch this death route, we are safe and we will not be losing 2 minutes at any point. There we go.
We're not safe yet, because
Well,
if I
yeah.
die before the checkpoint, then I have to
Yeah.
go all the way back and get that one box that I got.
Safe-ish. Should be good now, realistically.
Neat little trick you can do here to jump on the roof of this wall to just skip all of this.
Okay, now I'm safe.
There we go.
All right.
Didn't get the God Cycle, but I did get the entire bonus, so that's cool.
Yeah, getting the bonus was awesome.
You can also spin those lasers that trigger when you step on the buttons.
I mean, I'm just happy I didn't have to re-enter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It loses like 2 minutes.
I feel like many runs on pace just come to die in that level.
Yeah, Piston It and Spaced Out back-to-back, Spaced Out being the next level, level 25. We'll be doing the rest of this warp room backwards, just because of mask routing. But, yeah, but this is one of the tougher levels in the game again, and it's right after Piston It, which probably is the hardest level in the game.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
So this is, because this is like the final level, we're not doing it last, but it is the final level, so there's going to be It's supposed to be like the final challenge of the game. You saw that blue gem back there, but I'm gonna first get some boxes. And I'm doing this to get a cycle from the respawn here. And it's basically like a 5 gem path. So when I go on the blue gem, which is the first coloured gem we got, I'm going to do a section of gameplay, and then there's going to be the green gem, which is the second one we got, and so on with all the colours, which is 5. So that's why we call it the 5 gem path. And hopefully I can get the cycle, because it's quite cool.
Let's see. Again, even after this 5 gem path, it's not over. I think you could definitely make the argument that the worst is yet to come in this level, even after this.
Yeah.
Should be nice. Just got to beat this Guide of a Punch here. He will try and thrust you backwards. Very nice. One more guy. That's awesome. That's really, really good. And now we're just going to grab this gem. We're not going to leave the level.
If you ask any top runner what's the worst level in this game, they'll say this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm like mid-high level, and I'll still say this.
Yeah, yeah, it's brutal. Because again, like any death there can cost so much time, and it's not even over because you still got the bonus, still got all the cycles that come from this. Yeah, it's gonna get rough. We're actually not gonna enter the bonus the normal way here. We're gonna slide around. We're gonna glitch high this TNT like that. And we're gonna do some spin jumps here. This would be really nice if he gets the stick on the bonus platform at the end as well.
Oh,
okay.
It's okay.
To be honest, it was a good thing you didn't get the stick. You would have left the box. Yeah.
Yeah, the main path of this level is surprisingly short, but it is definitely not easy.
Yeah, it's definitely bolstered by the 5 gem path and the bonus.
Yeah, and they definitely throw as much as they can at you in this final level.
That's fine.
Would have liked that mask for what I'm about to do.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Yeah, Rico, you can explain this one. This is above my pay grade.
Alright, yeah, so the next level...
I can explain. It's there's 2 jetpack levels, but basically in this one we're going to try to not use the jetpack. I'm going to be going for a frame perfect trick. I'm going to try and pause and spin and spam it really fast to skip the jetpack animation where you put it on and use it. I'm going to do that now, so I'm going to show up.
Here we go. Gonna be some pause buffering.
Got it.
Nice. There we go.
Okay, now the game is very unstable at this point, so I have to be very careful because if there's a bunch of lasers and there's a bunch of other random spots where the game will crash. I do have a backup save, but hopefully we won't be needing it.
Yeah, touching any electricity here is a reload of the console.
Yeah, basically anything that causes the game to try and load an animation that does not exist in this level will force the hard lock. That is being electrocuted by anything, dying to a nitro, or picking up triple mask, the third of which literally never happens. But the other 2 are very real threats.
Got a nice little teleport coming up when he grabs this crystal here.
Yeah, I've been practicing my magic lately. Watch this. Abracadabra.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the reason for that launch at the end is that when you load the final chunk of the level, an invisible wall spawns that stops Crash from backtracking the level on foot. So when that wall spawns in, it kind of just pushes Crash to the end of the level.
Alright, so this level is basically the same as Totally Fly, where it's in the dark and you get the flies and so on. This is probably the last good chance for donations if you have any more.
Absolutely, I'll get them in nice and quick. We have an anonymous $5 donation that just simply says that this is incredible, and I think we all agree. And a $10 donation from B.5, who says, needed to get a Rift Apart bid in for the Crack in Time armor. That went obviously towards the Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart armor bid war. We've had a lot of donations in for that recently. You have your last opportunities to get them in to choose which armor will happen in Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart after we finish Crash Bandicoot.
Final on foot level, it's worth mentioning. Very similar to Totally Fly, same gimmick.
Yeah, the reason we don't do the jetpack skip in the next jetpack level is because you saw like some of the boxes in that level where I was like bouncing to reach ones above me because I'm supposed to be flying, but basically the box patterns in the next level are just ridiculously hard to get on foot, and even if you do the entire thing perfectly, it saves like 1 second. Because the magic trick that I did, where I grabbed the crystal and teleported to the end, it's basically a trigger that makes you teleport like that, and in the other jetpack level, that trigger is quite a bit before the crystal, so I can't do what I did.
Yeah, you just die instead.
Yeah, because obviously you need the crystal to get 100% ideally.
This is also why we didn't do the death threat at the very start of the level. There's only this gem and those 2 crates, and they're both very close to the end, so this is just much faster.
Also, the gem is ideally positioned right next to a fly to help you go through this section forward. It's going to run out about here.
There's a hole about where those mushrooms are.
It's really nice, and then final little section here. That's fine.
That was on purpose.
Yeah.
For some reason, in the
course.
other jetpack level, if you enter it with 2 masks and you walk forward at the very start, like the spawn platform, you walk forward, you just die.
Yeah, it's hilarious. You literally fall through the floor.
It's technically optimal, but it's like such a minor difference, and Rocket can be a bit of a scary level to do maskless, so it's just nicer to enter it with 1.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
it's the fastest way of doing it is to go with 2 masks and for it to kill you, and then you go in immediately. But good luck doing that on PB pace.
Yeah,
No mask in here.
it's scary times. Alright, final level of the game before the final boss. The final boss, by the way, is really epic. It's definitely going to take us a really long time.
If you've ever seen an epic boss battle such as, I don't know, Ganon in the Zelda CDI games or Nasty Nork in Spyro the Dragon, it's kind of similar in that vein in how epic it is.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Dark Souls in a way.
Yeah, in a way.
You could say
a
this
real
is the
slog,
Dark Souls of platformers.
Yeah, you could say that. It's been said before, actually. Yeah. That TNT catches that box. You don't want to off-screen that because of the same reason why you don't want to off-screen the nitros in this game. It will simply vanish instead of exploding and taking that box with it. Nice cycle there.
They were opening, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, also on the PAL version, you can just go through those scientists because you move fast enough.
We have a mask here, so there is absolutely no risk in just YOLOing this cycle.
Okay.
That's fine. It's absolutely fine. Final boss gets rid of your masks anyway. Not like we'll be needing them.
You literally cannot get hit in the final boss and take damage.
Just like Dark Souls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because it's the final boss of the game, it's going to be really difficult, and it's going to take about a whopping 30 seconds from now. So
Very tough.
We're coming close to time here. Don't mash anything because it will crash the game loading into the final boss.
well, you can hold X, and it just skips it.
Yeah, you just can't mash like square, I think.
This is a jetpack. You just chase him, and then you spin him when you get the chance, and that's the entire boss.
Should miss the second hit for content.
2 hits away.
It's actually quite easy to miss the second hit, so I really hope I don't.
Oh boy, here we go. Nah.
Okay, good. I was
okay.
kidding.
If I miss a hit, I'll never hear the end of it, so I
Right.
better hit this guy.
Right on time.
3, 2, 1,
Time.
time.
Very good, very good.
I want to point out just how incredibly solid a 1:11:50 is for a marathon run.
That's awesome.
That is incredible.
That is so good. Like, that is really, really good. Sub 112 in a marathon is ridiculous.
Yeah, in my practice, I was getting like 110s, but you know, I'm happy with that. I'm very
Yeah,
happy
I
with
mean,
that.
you gotta
Sure, you got to take what you can get with this game. It's very, very unforgiving.
be. Yeah, no huge deaths. I mean, probably the biggest death was in a bear level or ruination of all things.
Yeah, the bear down one wasn't great.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
tough. That was tough. But
And the digging at death through. Like,
yeah, it
I didn't have many deaths, but the ones I did were huge. So that's like,
So yeah, that's Crash 2. This actually isn't the 100% credits, by the way. You would have to wait and then.
yeah. After the credits, like the other guy, Brio, he would talk to you, and then you would go up and see him, and there's another secret cutscene.
But yeah, it involves watching 3 minutes of credits, so we just have timing end on the last hit of Cortex. 'Cause
Yeah.
that is essentially 100%.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's Crash 2. I hope you enjoyed it.
Oh
You
yeah.
guys enjoy it?
Big thank you to you, Stuart, and of course Rico and Hypno on the couch. I
thank you,
think
guys.
everybody really did enjoy it, and we've got one final donation for you. It's a $5 donation from John Bandicoot, who says, I think you did pretty well. John, I think everyone here in the room agrees.
Thanks,
and
John.
we will see you all very shortly after this quick intermission.